Hello, Urban Timber Tree team. This is the first in a series of short videos we're going to make for you on how to make updates to your site. This first one is just going to cover some simple WordPress basics and text edits. So I'm going to create a user account for you, or multiples if there's going to be multiple people working on the site. When you get logged into the site, this is the first screen that you see. This is called the dashboard. There are a number of things here. You can move them around. I'm going to go ahead and move them around for myself. I usually like to keep the tutorial videos up at the top. As I make the tutorial videos, this will become a scrolling pane that you can scroll through the various videos and see them. So it's a good one to keep up top. The view is only going to change for me, so you'll have to do these customizations yourself. You can do a number of things here to make it what it is that you want it. So, put these things wherever you want. This is kind of a condensed view of your Google Analytics so that you can see basic site visits, what's going on. You can, run some different reports here. But I think usually what you're going to want to do, obviously, is making text edits to the site. I like to keep two tabs open when I'm doing work on the site, one for the front end, one for the back end, so that I can see them both. You will see that when you're logged into the site, you do have this toolbar up here that shows on the front end. Don't worry, nobody else is seeing this. This is just for you when you're logged in. It can make it easy to find the page that you want. You can just, when you're on a page and you see an edit you want to make, you can just say edit page. Also here in the back end, if you just come down to this pages item in the menu and you click on that, you'll see a list of all of the pages on the website. So in this case, we're on removal. Let's go ahead and make some test changes to the removal page. So you get logged in, you'll see, some different rows and stuff in the on the page. It's possible that when you get logged in, you'll see it like this, which you don't want to do. Obviously, there's a bunch of little weird code things and stuff in here. So all you want to do is click on this back end editor if it looks like that, and you'll get the view that we were looking at here before with these rows. So if you just want to make a text edit, you can see that as I roll over these things, I get these little green things with some little tools in there. If you hover over it, it'll tell you what it is. That's edit this text block, so we'll go ahead and click on that. Up comes a little pop-up window with our text in it. You can change the size of this to give yourself some more room to work in as needed. And if you want to make a text edit, you can just if you're going to copy and paste from somewhere, what you're going to want to do is click this Paste as Text button. And what that's going to do is remove any formatting, fonts, bold, different things. You don't obviously want to bring in hot pink text or, some different fonts. You can, if you bring in a style sheet from somewhere else, it'll overwrite, what's happening for that particular piece of text. So if you're going to copy and paste some text from CNN. I don't know why you'd do that, or a Word document or something, you would just copy your text.
United States of America.
And again, as we said, we just want to click this Paste as Text button first. It's going to tell you what that means, and then you can paste it in. And we've removed any of that extra formatting from it. So we can hit, let's just go ahead and delete that part here. Let's hit Save Changes. We'll hit Update. And on the front end of the site here, we can hit Refresh. And we can see our extra text has showed up right here. If we want to add a link in here, it's pretty much the same thing. We can just say, you can just then highlight the text that you want to turn into a link, come right up here to this insert link icon. It looks like a little chain link. Click that. We're going to go ahead and click on this link options here. And then right here we've got a list of pages on the site. So you can just click to make a link to within your own site, and it's going to go ahead and write the link in for you up here. We can say add link. Go ahead and quick take a look at that. Refresh. There it is. There's our link, and it goes to the contact page just like it should. If you want to link to a page outside the site, I normally would suggest that you actually go to that page and copy the link rather than trying to type it in. That way we make sure it's exactly what you want. And the only difference that happens here when we're linking to an outside site is that, again, we come to the link options here. So we're going to actually paste that link right in here. And then we're also going to click this open link in a new tab. So if, for instance, you're going to add more of those links like we've got that go out to the cutting by city, the rules for all of that kind of stuff, this is how you would do that. And when you say open in a new tab, what that's going to do is make sure that they don't completely leave your site behind, so that when they click the link, it indeed opens in a new tab. When they're done looking at that, they close that tab, and your site is still open behind it here. We'll go ahead and remove this before we forget. For these items on the home page, it's a little bit different, but still easy enough. Again, you just want to come to Pages first. You would come right down to Home Page, click on that. These are the images for the main banner here. If you're going to add or subtract some of those, you'll just want to look at what the size of them is. So here, if we click on this guy, we can see that this is the pixel size. It doesn't matter, it'll automatically crop it for you, but if you crop it to the size that you want, then you can make sure the part that you want is showing up where you want it to show up. Otherwise, it's just going to center it and you'll lose anything outside, or if you make it too small, it'll stretch it to fit. So that is where these guys go, is where it says Hero Slider Images. You can change the order of these. You can delete them by just clicking on the X to remove. You can add extras, add to gallery. It brings you to the media library, and again, you could just add something that's already in here. Or, like I said, you can crop a new one to the size that you want, and then you could come right here to upload files. It's just like attaching an image to an email. You'd select, you'd browse for wherever it is that image is, and you'd open it, and it would add to your list here. For these items down here, these 4 boxes across, we come all the way down here, what we call the hover boxes. So I don't know. I mean, you can change these out. Again, it works in a similar way. If you want to remove it or replace it, you would just hit remove right here, and then you would upload a new one. Again, you would want to make sure it's the right size. These hover images, these icons, I wouldn't probably mess with. You can get our assistance with those if you want to change those. But the easiest thing to change, of course, is the text. Just like before, it's just there's little text boxes here, so you can change the supporting text. You can change the titles if you want, although obviously if you're going to change this to a different service, you need to change where it links to as well. The rest of the page is pretty much like the other page that I showed you. So, here's a text piece. You can come in and edit any of these, just highlight just like a Word document, update them as needed. You'll recognize these formatting tools up here. They're just, again, like a Word document. So if you want to do a bulleted list, it's as simple as that. Same thing with bolding text. Changing text color. I I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you definitely can if you want to. Changing the alignment, changing this to a numbered list instead of a bulleted list, all kinds of stuff. If you do, so it doesn't immediately save. Like we've done this stuff here, right? Let's say we've done some things here, and we hit save. Now, this doesn't immediately save to the front end of the site. We have to hit update here first. So if you find that you've made some changes and you don't want to commit to those changes, or you get distracted and you come back and you're like, I don't know what I've done and what I haven't done, all you have to do is move away from here. You basically haven't committed the changes. So you could just hit refresh, or you could go back to pages. It's going to warn you changes you made may not be saved. It's really saying they won't be saved. So we can leave, and then we can go back to home, and none of those, the pink text, the italics, none of that has actually happened at that point. So that's your chance to undo it if you decide you've done something and you don't want to commit. You can also preview changes before you save them to the page as well, which lets you see it in the actual what it would look like if you saved it, which gives you another chance to take a look before you save it. Otherwise, once you hit update, you can't really undo it except for trying to remember what you did and undoing what you did, or you can always come to us and we can revert the site. I think that should cover it for this first video. So dashboard is where you'll be when you're logged in. Come right down to pages. You'll see a list of pages. Click on any one of them. And again, you'll see all these little text blocks that you can edit the page with. Thanks.